7 minutes. That's all it took to rob the world's most famous museum. On Sunday morning, 4 masked thieves pulled off a $12 million jewelry heist at the Louvre in record time, triggering national outrage and a massive manhunt. Here's how what many are calling the heist of the century happened minute by minute. 9:30 a.m. A truck with an extendable ladder parks near the Louvre's Seine-facing side. Dressed as construction workers, 2 thieves scale the ladder to a second-floor balcony. Using an angle grinder, they cut through a window into the Apollo Gallery just rooms away from the Mona Lisa. Inside, they smash 2 display cases and steal 8 pieces of jewelry dating to the Royal French Napoleonic era. The museum's alarm sounds, alerting museum staff and authorities to the theft. The thieves flee down the ladder, hop onto 2 motorbikes, and speed off southeast towards the A6 highway. In their rush, they drop 1 piece, the crown of Empress Eugénie, which is adorned with over 1,000 diamonds. The crown was recovered on the street outside the museum, but found damaged. Police arrived within minutes and found 2 angle grinders, a blowtorch, gasoline, gloves, a walkie-talkie, a blanket, and the crown at the scene. A yellow vest, possibly from one suspect, was discovered blocks away. The Louvre was closed after the robbery and wasn't reopened until Wednesday morning. The Louvre director facing questions from lawmakers revealed one shocking revelation: that the only camera outside the Apollo Gallery was facing the wrong way and did not see that van arrive or the ladder resting on the balcony. It's a fact the 4 suspects may have known and raises the question: were they tipped off by someone on the inside, or even did someone move it for them? Alarms and video cameras in the Louvre worked, she said. But because police were only alerted once the gang had already made entry, it was too late. The stakes now. French President Emmanuel Macron has vowed justice, but experts worry the stolen jewelry can't be openly sold in its current state. The fear is the thieves will dismantle these priceless artifacts, selling the jewels individually and erasing centuries of history. It holds secrets, stories of audacious thefts and vanishing treasures that sound like they belong in a Hollywood blockbuster. But these aren't fiction. They happened right here, inside the heart of the world's most famous museum. Today, we are pulling back the curtain to uncover the Louvre's most mysterious robberies. Picture this. It's August 1911. Paris is bustling, and the Louvre is the center of the art world. But one morning, the unthinkable happens. A blank space hangs on the wall where the world's most famous smile should be. The Mona Lisa is gone. Panic erupts. The French borders are sealed. The police are clueless. Was it a sophisticated criminal syndicate? A foreign government? The media frenzy is unprecedented. Newspapers offer huge rewards. Even Pablo Picasso is brought in for questioning. The world holds its breath, captivated by the mystery. Who could have stolen the Mona Lisa? The truth, when it finally emerged 2 years later, was almost stranger than fiction. The thief wasn't some suave, high-tech mastermind. He was Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian handyman who had previously worked at the Louvre installing protective glass for the paintings. His plan was shockingly simple. He hid inside a broom closet overnight. The next morning, when the museum was closed, he simply took the painting off the wall, tucked it under his coat, and walked out. Just like that. The world's greatest art heist was a low-tech, inside job. Peruggia believed the painting was stolen from Italy by Napoleon and that he was a patriot, returning it to its rightful home. He kept the Mona Lisa in his small Paris apartment for 2 full years, tucked away in a trunk. He even wrote to his family about it. He was finally caught when he tried to sell the painting to an art dealer in Florence. The dealer, suspicious, alerted the authorities. The Mona Lisa was recovered, and Peruggia became an unlikely celebrity in Italy for a short time. Ironically, the theft did something no artist could have planned. It catapulted the Mona Lisa from a celebrated masterpiece into a global icon. The empty space on the wall drew more crowds than the painting ever had. When she returned, her fame was permanent. But the story of the Louvre's thefts doesn't end with Peruggia. The Mona Lisa heist cast a long shadow, but other, quieter disappearances have haunted the museum's halls for decades. Fast forward to the 1970s. The world has changed, but the Louvre, in some ways, remains a place of old-world trust. This was an era before the sophisticated security systems we see today. Cameras were scarce, alarms were basic, and security often relied on the watchful eyes of guards and the integrity of its staff. It was during this time that a series of small, almost silent thefts began to plague the Egyptian Antiquities Department. Imagine the scene: vast storerooms filled with thousands of artifacts, tiny amulets, sacred statuettes, and ancient jewelry. relics that had survived millennia buried under sand, now sitting on shelves in Paris. One by one, some of these priceless pieces began to vanish. There were no dramatic break-ins, no shattered glass. They were simply gone. These weren't heists for the front page. They were inside jobs, carried out by someone who knew the layout of the museum's labyrinthine corridors, who knew which storerooms were less guarded, and who knew which small items wouldn't be missed for weeks, months, or even years. One of the most notable cases involved a curator's assistant who, over several years, systematically stole dozens of small Egyptian artifacts. He wasn't a professional thief. He was an expert who had access and opportunity. He sold the pieces to collectors and dealers, exploiting the very trust that the museum had placed in him. The thefts were only discovered after he left his position, when inventories were painstakingly checked. The investigation revealed a slow, methodical plunder that had gone on right under everyone's noses. It was a betrayal from within, a quiet crime that struck at the heart of the museum's mission to preserve history. And then there are the thefts that remain complete mysteries, the ones that feel like ghost stories whispered in the museum's archives. Some pieces weren't discovered missing during a dramatic heist, but during routine inventory checks decades later. A registrar opens a drawer to find an empty box. A researcher requests an artifact that exists on paper but can't be found anywhere in the collection. These are the lost treasures, their disappearances undocumented, their stories fading into administrative paperwork. Was it a forgotten loan that was never returned? An artifact misplaced during a move and then quietly pocketed? Or a deliberate theft so old that the trail has gone completely cold? The Louvre is a city within a city, with over 14 kilometers of galleries and storerooms. It's easy to imagine how something small could simply vanish, swallowed by the sheer scale of the place. These phantom thefts raise chilling questions. How many other pieces are missing that we don't even know about yet? Each one represents a tiny hole in the fabric of human history, a story we can no longer tell. These stories of theft, from the brazen to the silent, forced the Louvre to evolve. The museum of today is a fortress. The Mona Lisa sits behind bulletproof, climate-controlled glass. Thousands of high-definition cameras monitor every corner. Motion sensors, pressure plates, and sophisticated alarms protect the art after hours. A small army of guards patrols the halls, their presence a constant reminder that beauty needs protection. The trust of the old days has been replaced by layers of technology and procedure. The Louvre has learned its lessons the hard way. Every stolen masterpiece, every vanished relic, has served as a wake-up call. The ghosts of Vincenzo Peruggia and the anonymous thieves of the 70s still haunt the institution, reminding us that art is fragile and human greed is timeless. The museum is no longer just a palace of art. It's a high-security vault, a testament to the ongoing battle between preservation and plunder. So why do these stories fascinate us so much? Perhaps it's because they reveal the human element behind the hallowed institution. They remind us that for all its grandeur, the Louvre is a place run by people, susceptible to human flaws like greed, misplaced patriotism, and simple carelessness. The heists add a layer of drama and intrigue to the quiet reverence of the galleries. They make the art feel more alive, more vulnerable, and ultimately, more precious. In the end, the story of the Louvre's robberies isn't just about what was lost. It's about what has endured. For every piece that was stolen, hundreds of thousands have remained, protected and cherished. Art survives. It survives wars, revolutions, and even theft. Each recovered artifact is a victory, a piece of our collective memory snatched back from the void. And every story of a heist reminds us why we guard this beauty so fiercely, because it doesn't just belong to a museum, it belongs to all of us. The empty space on the wall in 1911 taught the world a valuable lesson. You often don't know what you've got until it is gone. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the hidden history of the Louvre. If you found these stories as captivating as I do, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the secrets of the art world. Let me know in the comments which art heist you find the most fascinating. See you next time.